So, for today's class, we're going to start in our child's pose. So come to sitting on your heels, bring your knees just a little bit apart. You can reach forward with the fingertips or bring the arms down by your sides and just bring the forehead all the way down to the mat. If you feel like you're carrying a lot of tension in your neck, you can rock your head a few times from side to side. And then just focus here on deepening your breath, feeling your belly rise and fall between your knees. When you're ready, if your arms are down by your sides, bring your hands up in front of you. Rise up onto hands and knees into our tabletop position. And from here, just bring the knees all the way together and the hands can come wide on the mat. We're going to start making some big, slow circles with the hips. So we're warming up the wrists and the spine, the shoulders. Go 2 times in one direction and then switch 2 in the other. Start to bring the knees a little bit wider apart. The hands can come even farther out in front. We're just going to roll the spine all the way forward so we're in this supported, modified plank. So we're from the knees, doing the posterior pelvic tilt. You're kind of rounding up through the upper back. Let's round the spine out all the way back into our child's pose. Take a breath. And then all the way forward again into this plank. We'll take 2 breaths here. When you're ready, if you want to add in a super slow push-up, you can lower all the way to the front of the body, take a breath at the bottom, and then start to rise all the way back up, send your hips back into your child's pose. Come forward one more time, round the spine all the way out, roll it forward until you're in this plank from the knees. We'll take 3 breaths here this time. And once you've taken your 3 breaths, lower down all the way. This time we'll take the hands out in front. Try to keep the back of the neck long. And then pick up the arms as high as you can. We're going to make these front lying snow angels or prone swimmers. Just 3 times. Just loosening out through the shoulders. And then bring the hands back out in front. Pull them closer in towards you until you can prop yourself up onto your elbows. Let's start to pull through the finger pads, loop the shoulders up, back, and down, come into cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, loop the shoulders back, come up. And release back down. Come up onto the elbows. And this time we're going to bring the left knee up as high as we can towards the left elbow. So this, for some people, will feel really subtle. For others, it feels like quite a lot in the hip of the straighter leg, actually. But we're going to work on a little bit of external rotation. So from here, with this left knee up high, you're going to make the left knee feel really heavy, and then just pick up the left foot. It's going to be a gentle movement. We're going to alternate here, picking up the foot and placing it back down gently. Let's go 4 more times. And then once you've done your 4 more, start to extend the left leg back behind you. Bring the right knee up as high as you can towards the right elbow. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So flex the right foot, and then just start to pick up that foot. Right knee is really heavy down into the mat or the floor beside you. Doing 8 total. Waking up the right hip. 2 more. And then start to straighten the right leg back behind you again. Bring the hands out wide. Push back up until you're in this plank position from the knees. And then tuck the toes under, lift up the knees so you're in your regular plank. Hold here, take 2 breaths. And then when you're ready, you can start to lift the hips up. Keep a bend at the knee until your hamstrings feel ready to start stretching and straightening. But pedal up through the feet, stretch out the calves. And then find some stillness, take 2 breaths. Let's start to walk the feet to the top of the mat, fold forward. And when you're ready, roll the spine all the way up to stand. Take a big exhale when you get to the top. Roll the shoulders up, back and down 2 times. Then let's switch directions, go forward. When you're ready now, let's inhale, bring the hands up overhead. And exhale, bring the hands into heart center. And then we're going to take our weight into the right foot, pick up the left knee, bringing it up into your chest. Hold here for a breath. And then from here, you're going to bring this left foot to your shin, or you can use your hand to help bring it up a little bit higher, avoiding pushing the knee out to the side, coming into your tree pose. Hands can stay in heart center. You can bring them out to the side, overhead, whatever makes you feel most balanced. Take 1 more breath. And then from here, bring the knee back into center. We're going to send that left foot all the way back behind us and turn the heel. So we're landing in our warrior 2. So the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back. Extend the fingertips, look over the fingertips of the right hand. Plug the shoulders into your back, feel nice and strong. And take a breath. Come back to calm breathing. Start to straighten this front leg. Bring your hand down to your shin, come into your triangle pose. You can keep a little micro bend in this front knee, just so nothing feels like it's locked out or hyperextending. And then start to lift back up using the core into exalted warrior. So left hand comes down, right arm goes up overhead, stretching out through the other side of the body. And then come back into your warrior 2, straighten this front leg, point the right toes the same direction as the left. So we're standing long on our mat. You can point your toes out at an angle a little bit. And from here, on our inhales, we're going to raise our arms up overhead. And on our exhales, you're going to bring opposite hand to opposite toes. So my right hand is coming down. I'm sitting back into my left hip. Right hand touches left toes. Inhale back up overhead. You're twisting like this side to side. Feeling like your twist is still coming from your core. And you can look down at the foot or up to the hand during each motion. Let's do 1 more each side. And then inhale the arms back overhead. Point the right toes facing forward again. Bring the arms down, sink into your warrior 2. Hold here for a breath. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot. Bump onto the left toes, so we're in this lunge position, and then just start to bounce a few times in this supported lunge. So your hands are still on your mat. Just getting into the left hip a little bit, loosening up that tissue. And then place the hands down. Take the right foot back beside the left, hold your plank for a breath. And then send the hips all the way up behind you. into your downward dog. Find your stillness after you're done pedaling out your feet and stretching out your calves. Notice the difference between sides. Take one more breath. And then tiptoe to the top of your mat, fold forward. Inhale, start to roll the spine all the way up to stand. Big breath out when you get there. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead, look up. And then palms come together, exhale them into heart center, bring your weight into your left foot, and come into your tree pose on the other side. Same thing here, whatever you need to do with your hands to feel stable and secure. Come back to your breath. Take one more. And then we'll start to bring the knee back up into the chest. We're gonna send it back behind us and turn the heel so we land in our warrior two. Check the alignment of your feet. And then extend the arms, plug the shoulders into the back. Hold strong. Start to straighten this front leg, bring your hand to the shin, come into your triangle. And then lift up using the core into your exalted warrior. Left hand goes up overhead, right arm comes down the right leg. Shift back into your warrior two, and then start to straighten the left leg, point the left toes the same direction as the right. Heel toe them a little bit closer together. I'm gonna turn to face you, but essentially from here, we're going to start twisting in a different way. So you're gonna let the toes of the back foot come up as you twist in the opposite direction. So making this a really fluid movement with the arms, just rotating and rocking back and forth. And we're going to use this for some core engagement. So you'll feel like a ballerina when we hold this pose, but you'll also feel your core turn on really fast. So the next time we rock over to the right, hold your pose. So stop the motion in midair. Take a breath, feel your core, and then come back to movement. The next time we're over to the left, we'll do the same thing. So hold, like you're holding a really big beach ball. Take a breath, and then come back to your rocking. Let's go one more time on each side. So the next time you're over to your right, stop, hold, and continue. And the next time you're over to your left, stop and hold. And rock. And you can just slowly let your arms come back to but being by your sides as you slow down the rocking. And when you feel steady and stable again, just heel toe the feet back out wide, point the left toes forward, sink back into your warrior two, hold for a breath. Start to cartwheel the arms down to frame the left foot, come up onto the right toes. We're in this lunge position, and then just start to bounce, getting into the right hip. These faster movements get a lot more into that tissue, so you might be feeling some things release. One more. And then place your hands down, take the left foot beside the right, hold your plank. Shift the hips all the way up on your next breath, downward dog. Rock forward with the spine, bring the knees down, sit the hips all the way back into your child's pose. Take a breath, come back to equal breathing. Start to shift forward and all the way up until you're in a tall kneeling position. I just want to do a few shoulder rotations because I feel like it's not something we do every day, and shoulder mobility becomes more and more important as we age and as we are sitting in front of our computers and hunching forward more. So let's roll the shoulders back. Let's leave the right arm down first. We're just going to pick up the left hand, bring it all the way overhead, stretch out through the armpit, and then point the pinky back and go in a big circle. Do one more like that. Nice and slow. Now let's do two going the other way with the same arm. Making these big rotations, trying to keep your hips squared just in front of you towards whatever wall you're facing. Shake out that left arm. Let's do the other side. Pick up the right hand, stretch out through the armpit, reach up, point the pinky back, and rotate all the way. One more. Go just a little bit slower than you want to. And switch. Let's go the other direction. Last one. And then shake out that arm. Cross the ankles just behind you. We're going to sit the hips back and come into your seated position. You can shuffle up on the mat if you want to. From here in this cross-legged, comfortable seat, tent the left fingertips behind you. Bring the right hand to the left knee. Gentle twist towards the left. Use the left hand behind you to create a really straight spine. Strong backbone. Release, start to make your way through center. Tent the right fingertips. Left hand comes to right knee, twist the other way. You can switch which way your feet are crossed if that feels a little bit better, twisting to this side. One more breath. And then come back into neutral. Take the legs out long, just give them a shake. And then bring the feet closer towards you. Take the hands out in front. We're going to lower down as slowly as you can. Feel that pelvis tilting under and your core zipping in as you lay all the way back. Try to make it to a count of 10 or maybe even 15 as you lower all the way. When you get there, reach the arms up overhead, point the toes, give yourself a big stretch. And then start to bring the feet closer in again. We're going to do a couple of bridges before we finish up our practice, just to get a little bit more back bending in. Some back bending gives us a lot of energy for the rest of the day, helps to correct our posture a little bit if we're sitting a lot. So from here, reach your fingers down, make sure that you can touch your heels. And on your next breath in, roll the hips up, lift up all the way. Coming into your bridge, you can interlace your hands underneath you, push through the elbows, create some pressure in the elbows so that there's none in the neck or the head. You can play with shifting your weight around from your heel to your toes. Pick up your heels and then pick up your toes and just see how that feels in your body and in your glutes. You can rock back and forth like that a few times. And start to roll the spine all the way back down. Bring the feet a little bit wide and knees can come into touch. Heel toe the feet in closer together. Now we're going to do one more bridge before we finish. Reach for your heels, and on your inhale, lift the hips up all the way. Roll the shoulders underneath you. And let's do that same thing. Rock from your heels forward to your toes. Go back and forth. All the while, your knees are coming in instead of out. Pretend that you're squeezing something between your legs, or if you have something to put there, like a foam roller or ball or something like that, that can provide a lot of proprioceptive awareness and a lot more sensation in the glutes. Take one more breath and then lower all the way. We're gonna come into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So if there's anything else you feel like your body needs before we head there, please do that now. Otherwise, extend the legs out long and the arms down by your sides. You can bring your hands to your belly if you want to remind yourself to take deep belly breaths. And then just close down the eyes, let the work settle into your body. When you're ready now, you can start to bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Shuffle your feet up closer towards you until you can roll to one side and push yourself up to seated. Take a breath when you get into your comfortable seat. You can bring your hands to your knees or up into heart center, or you can stay in your Shavasana if that's feeling really nice and comfortable for you right now. Let's take a big breath together here to finish. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. I hope to see you here again really soon. And as always, if you have questions or requests for class, please message me and let me know. You can find me here on this platform often. And you can book in private classes there